Welcome to another exhilarating episode of Comic Book Straight Talk, brought to you from the secret basement inside one of America's oldest comic shops, Tulsa's own The Comic Empire. Now, true believers, open up your ear holes and get ready to have your head filled with the best comic book knowledge this galaxy can handle. That's right, it's time for another nerd overload with Comic Book Straight Talk.
Welcome back to Comic Book Straight Talk. This is Dalian.
Terry the French Tickler French.
Kenny.
Just Carrington.
And Just Carrington.
Today we're going to do, it's kind of almost award seasons for comics.
Yeah, they just announced the Eisner nominees, so we decided we were going to do our own little, in the tradition of Marvel with the no prize, we're going to do the no award.
Yep. So yes, the Oscars are in the winter. The comic awards are in the summer. And so we're going to start off our first category with
Best Writer. So Terry, who's
Terry?
your best writer?
Right now,
For 2016.
For 2016.
For 2016, this is a title that actually started in late October 2015, but is currently running through 2016, and that's Paper Girls. And I Can't Stop Reading That by Brian K. Vaughan.
So Brian
K. Vaughan is your best
Brian
writer?
K. Vaughan currently.
Okay. Kenny?
I'm going to shock everybody.
Is it going to be
I'm going to shock everybody and not say Ed Brubaker.
But it's Ed Brubaker.
No, it's Mark Waid.
Mark Waid for his Archie stuff, right? Or
For Archie, for Black Widow,
Daredevil.
Yeah, the end of his Daredevil run, his Champions, Birthright. It's all great.
Yeah. I actually, both those are two good ones, actually. I went Kieran Gillen.
Yep. Another good one.
His run on, as we mentioned in a previous episode, his run on Darth Vader this last year. Really good. Awesome.
And Wicked and Divine.
And Wicked and Divine, yes. So he's got a double whammy there. So.
I have one honorable mention. That was Tom King for his Vision series for 2016. It was started in January 2016.
It's hard to come up with just one.
Oh, yeah.
It really is. So, you guys have any honorable mentions?
Well, Ed Brubaker.
Well, of course.
Greg Rucka for Black Magic and Lazarus. Not Wonder Woman.
Not Wonder Woman?
No, I hated that Wonder Woman story. Both of them.
I actually don't have an honorable mention. So.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. Let's see. The next one would be
Best Artist.
Ooh, this could be a dangerous one.
I'm going to shock everyone on that one, too.
Okay, what you got?
Joe Benitez.
For
Lady Mechanica. Man, that book is just absolutely phenomenal, the art on that thing.
That is beautiful.
I actually went with Greg Capullo.
Yeah.
His Batman stuff in 2016 was just...
I still think they need to get him to do Moon Knight. I think
Yes.
he's great on Moon Knight.
Good Moon Knight.
Well, look at how Finch did it.
Yeah.
I mean, if Finch can pull it off real well, and yeah, definitely Capullo could pull it off reil good.
Is that how you pronounce his last name?
That's how I
think
pronounce
it's
it.
Capullo.
I always said Capello.
I'll have to ask him next time we see.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce your name? Best Artist is, again, another one that started before 2016, but is continuing on in 2016. And that's Tyler Crook for Harrow County.
Yeah.
Phenomenal art.
Yeah, I know you two read that.
And he's actually going to carry over into a couple of my other best ofs, but Best Artist, Tyler Crook. Just amazing.
Well, and his art on that book is just creepy.
Right.
It really is.
Everything he does for that book just lends itself to creepiness.
Yeah. Okay.
Best Inker.
Best Inker.
Who's your best artist? Did you mention your best artist?
I did.
Okay.
Prove again.
Okay. I don't listen
You
to
don't listen to me.
Most of the time he's not worth listening to.
Best Inker. I don't know that he did anything in 2016, but Charles Burns is, man, that guy is a phenomenal inker. But I don't know that he did anything in 2016, so I went with Chris Samney for his Black Widow and also Daredevil. So
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say Klaus Janson.
For what?
For Dark Knight 3. I believe he's doing Dark Knight 3.
anytime Frank Miller
Yeah.
does something, it's
Usually
usually
him,
inked by
yeah.
Klaus Janson. So.
And colored by Laura Martin. But I don't know if she's doing it this time. But
Mine, like I said, was going to carry over, and Tyler Crook does all the inking and coloring, I believe, for Harrow County. So
yeah.
and that's why it takes that book a long time for him to get it out sometimes.
Yep.
all right, our next category, Terry.
I don't think Harrow County's ever been late, though, has it?
No, but if you just because he really gets started on it early, but he taught. There's a couple of YouTube videos. If you watch them, it just tells you how long it takes for him to get those out.
I bet. So next category would be.
Did we all do best inker and colors already? Everybody mentioned those?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
No, we haven't done colorist yet.
We're getting ready to
Because
do
I
colors.
did colorist because I mentioned Tyler Crook. He
Okay,
did-
so the
he does
next
both of those.
category would be
Yes,
colorist.
colorist, okay.
And I went with, it was really between Laura Allred and Elizabeth Brightweiser, and I went with Laura just because I think she might be the real genius behind Mike Allred.
Yeah, and I actually agree. I've got Laura Aldred as best colorist also.
So, okay. Since Terry did inker and colorist at the same time, so the next category would be best cover artist. Who you got, Terry?
Again, I mentioned them in another show. Sanya Takeda's Monstrous.
Sana Takeda.
Yeah, I do not know how to pronounce that, but yes, her monstrous covers are just monstrously beautiful.
Oh, jeez. He went there.
Wow.
Yeah, I went there.
Wow.
Who you got, Dow?
I have Art Germ. Stanley
Art
Art
Germ?
Germ.
Art Germ, yeah.
Stanley Lau.
Stanley Lau, yeah.
Yep, he does some pretty covers.
Yep.
Yep.
Especially that new Robotech cover. he's
Yeah,
doing.
we mentioned last episode, yes.
I had David Mack,
His
and there were a lot of good cover artists.
Yes.
Frank Cho, I know it's very polarizing, and Adam Hughes,
Campbell.
Linsner.
Yeah.
But I went with David Mack because, I mean, you see a David Mack cover and you know that's David Mack. And he never does just like one thing. He always has some mixed media in there and everything. So,
Yeah, my honorable mention was Mike Del Mundo for his Vision covers.
yeah, those were really good.
I mean, it just he got this late, I guess, 50s style, I guess,
Yeah.
and they
They were definitely
really fit,
retro,
but yet,
yeah.
but yet were very scary at the same time.
Yeah.
The way he did them, so I enjoyed his covers.
So, okay, best new artist.
I'm going to go with Ashley Witter.
Of course she did.
I have to. The covers she's been knocking out for some of the Facebook group Brain Trust afros have just been awesome.
Dr. Afra.
Dr. Afra. Her
Her Harley cover was awesome.
yes, and actually the Darth Maul cover she did for Darth Maul 1 was really good. She wants to do Archie. She wants to draw the Riverdale people, and so
Archie, pay attention.
yes,
Yeah, and you should mention her own book.
she does a book called Squarriors.
Yep. And
For, Devil's
I
Due.
flipped through one at Planet Comic Con, and they are really nice.
This is a
really good.
detail. Just man, it's awesome.
So who you got for new artist, Terry?
Well, he's been around for a while, but again, it ties into my last one, and I think he may just finally be getting more work and a little bit more due, and that's Gabriel Hernandez Walta, who did the interior art for the Vision.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The one I had has also been around for 4, 5, 6 years now, but he finally released his own book, and that's what drew my attention to him, and that's Ali Fell, and he did the book called Shadow Glass.
Oh yes,
That's the one that it was published and then went
Reissues.
And
directly
they
to
did
web.
four single issues, and then instead of doing 5 and 6, it went directly to trade paperback.
Okay. So
So-
you can still get them as an actual
You just have to buy
Yeah,
them in
you
trade.
can. Yeah, you can get actual paper in your hands.
paper in your hand.
Yeah.
Wasn't it released on web and then went to trade?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So that's my best new artist. So now we could switch to actual comics. Best ongoing series.
There's so many good ones. But like Kenny said in the last episode, I went with the best new series, Star Wars.
Yeah,
because just
that's a good one.
just because it's that feel, like you were saying, being there in 1976, and Aaron's just knocking it out of the park with that, and the art's been really beautiful too. So
Again, mine goes to Paper Girls.
You
Did I steal it from you?
You stole my.
It's a great ongoing series. It's just the feel of it, the dialogue, the story, the
Well,
characters. It's really worth checking out.
It is a great series, and it's fun. And you know, when I get my weekly comics, I always read the ones I'm most excited about first. I know a lot of people, you know, the ones that they're not excited about, so they put those first. So when they get to the end, they're excited. I go for it all in the beginning, and Paper Girls is always on top.
I'm behind a bit on that one.
So for well, since you took Paper Girls, I'm going to say Harrow County.
Okay, there you go.
Okay. Got anything to add?
No.
Okay. Best new series. Terry doesn't have a new series.
I don't think I wrote down the best new series
Well,
on here.
And this is going to come as a huge, huge shock to everyone, but the Gwynpool.
Yeah.
Oh, I have it written down.
I've-
I didn't do it. Yeah.
It's been a fun story. It's you know, you want a good laugh, you know, just read it and you can laugh at it. So
Yeah. So for new series, I went with Spook House by Eric Powell. Those
good one.
books
that's
have
be an
been-
anthology, wouldn't it? So
Well, yeah, because it does have
Yeah,
different
so-
artists in it. But I just think that book is just a hoot. So
Vision. Best
Vision?
new series.
Best new series. Well, Vision was good. Well, this was not necessarily a new series, but it was a follow up to the series. Lady Killers 2 was good.
yeah,
Okay.
Joelle.
Yeah.
Okay. Best anthology. Speaking of,
Yeah, that's one I had. Like I said, I don't read a whole lot of anthologies, and so I kind of the Creeps. I wrote that down. It's kind of a anthology.
yeah,
And Dow didn't want me to.
that's
didn't want to
fine.
allow
I
that
said-
because
I
it's
said,
a
yeah, okay.
magazine format as opposed to a comic book format.
but it's a
it is
comic magazine.
Yes.
It's a comic magazine.
I had a hard time because I don't really read anthologies, but you know, we were talking off air about different ones. I was like, yeah, okay, but I went with the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund annual, so got some pretty good.
And it supports a good cause.
Yes, it does. Yes, it supports the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund.
Best anthology, I went with Dark Horse Presents, probably the anthology of anthologies. So a lot of new series get introduced in there, and this last one they had, well, not the last one, but the last few have had a story called The Murderers Club, and or Murderers Society. You should check it out. It's pretty cool. So, okay, best miniseries.
I had a tough time on that one, and the one I chose is I don't know if it's going to continue because I haven't seen a book in a while, and that was Moonshine.
Yeah, it just kind of left us hanging.
Just kind of ended, and so I said, well, that was 6 issues, I believe, so I decided I would call that my miniseries.
Well, that'll work.
Yeah. I actually went kind of off the grid on kind of. I went with Britannia.
Yep.
From Valiant. I did not think I would enjoy it as much, but I really did enjoy it. The creepiness of Rip's art on that with the story, and
And that was
it was
4
really
issues,
good.
wasn't it?
5.
5 issues, and
It was
it's
5.
actually got a follow up now.
Yeah, the follow up
so.
just came out a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Yep. Best miniseries. I mentioned him earlier. Ali Fell's Shadow Glass. I had Britannia down, and then I went with Shadow Glass because that book was just, it was gorgeous, and the story was good too. So it's really good. Check it out. Maybe he'll do a second one.
Hopefully, or do more stuff.
Yeah, and it does not end the way you think it ends. So So, best one-shot or self-contained story, one-issue story?
I went with the DC Rebirth 80-page special that just pretty much relaunched the whole rebirth, or launched the rebirth of the DC universe and set its course for where it's going now. So,
And that was by?
it's Jeff Johns and was a writer, and there were several different artists that did the art on it. But it each, in a way, it could also be considered an anthology because it's kind of a story, overarching story, but it's broke up into different sections and stuff. So.
Right.
I had two, and so I'll just mention them and then tell you the one that kind of edges its way to the top. And that's Dark Knight, a true Batman story, and Wonder Woman, a true Amazon story. And Dark Knight, a true Batman story, edged its way out. It was really dark, sort of Paul Dini working out his own demons.
Mm-hmm.
And although it has all your gallery of Batman's gallery in there, if you pick it up and you think you're going to read this and you're going to get, Batman punching and action, stuff like that, it's not. It's this dark story about, like I said, Paul Dini working out his demons.
Well,
So you got about him being mugged, right?
Yeah.
and overcoming all that, and
And
Is
overcoming
Catwoman in
some.
it?
Yeah, all the galleries in there. So.
Really? Catwoman's in it. I'll have to pick it up.
Yeah.
I never did pick it up.
Well, it wasn't a cheap book to pick up either. So.
Now, I work in a comic shop. I get credit. Okay, for one shot, I went with a self-contained story, Afterlife with Archie #10. It was called Interlude with the Pussycats. And I just thought that was a phenomenal story about how they became vampires, and it was really good. I liked it.
Cool.
Okay.
And Francavilla art.
Oh yeah.
So, best collection.
Ooh, I don't think I have a best collection on.
I'm gonna say the EC Archives. Dark Horse has got the rights to do those now, and they're phenomenal. They're beautiful. Been recolored correctly, better than the previous versions were, and they're real nice. Being able to read all that old weird fantasies and Tales from the Crypts and all that. So.
Yeah, I went with the Cordo Maltese collections that IDW are doing. They're really awesome.
And you can learn stuff from reading them too.
Yeah, you can. And if you ever want to know who Frank Miller's biggest influence was, it was Hugo Pratt and the Cordo Malteses.
Yeah.
Well, for collections, I mean, I'm trying to think of what is it that I get the individual issues, the Haunted Horror.
Yeah.
It's more of a reprint, but it is
a
collecting
collection,
stories.
Yeah.
So the Haunted Horror, the Weird Love. I get the individual issues. They also are putting out larger hardbacks of those with more stories than you get in the individual issues. I picked up one of those, but I probably will eventually later go on and pick up all the other ones.
Yeah, and he does a phenomenal job with the design of them and everything. Craig Yo's, he's really good. And
The look and feel of them is just amazing. He puts it in this sort of a matte finish.
yeah,
And it's just gorgeous. I mean, it's like he's bringing back these Golden Age books to life.
Yeah. And they're books that you rarely see.
Right.
So just ask Mel, the collector man, how hard it is to find those books.
Yeah.
Yep. So, Terry, did you get a best design?
No.
You're the graphic designer here.
I did. I thought you were just joking about that one, so I didn't write that one down.
The one thing you said was the Haunted Horror stuff.
I was going to give it to Craig Yo for Return of the Zombies hardcover because it had the chunk taken out of the bottom of it.
Yeah,
when I first got it, I was like, hey, Diamond ruined my book.
Exactly, and then we figured out they did basically like a bite of a zombie into the front of the cover.
Yeah, that was great.
Cool.
That was pretty cool.
Best publisher.
Dark Horse. I like that they, they do like cutting edge kind of stuff, and it's not superheroes. Although some people consider Hellboy a superhero, but I'd consider him a horror character.
I gave it to Image, kind of along the same lines. They allow writers and artists to put out so many different genres of stories.
Yeah.
And I'm always, as I go through the catalog every month, I'm seeing just too much stuff that I want to read.
Right.
It sounds interesting.
Yeah, I went with Image, but it was DC's real close behind. So it's Image, mainly for the reasons you were saying. It seems like that you're having the same writers and stuff working on a DC book. Kind of there's some that are working on Image book, and the Image book's better because they don't have that. They don't have as much. They have more at stake in the Image book than they do the other one.
Right.
Because it's more. They're going to see more of the return. They're going to put more time into the Image book then. So.
We got any other?
There was the best single issue or story arc.
Oh yeah, the best story arc. Yeah.
I can tell you which is the worst story arc, and that's where Cap goes Hydra.
Yeah, that's.
Has not gone over very well, has it?
No.
Haven't that 2017 though? Or did that start in 16?
That's actually 2017,
Yeah.
but
Terry is looking into the future to see.
Yeah.
He's already got a nomination.
He's already got it
for
for next year.
2018 or
Yeah.
2017 awards.
I had a tough time with that. Picking out a best arc. A lot of the DC rebirths, some of the beginning arcs were interesting, especially Detective. I like how they had taken, some of the characters and put them in a team. And like Clayface I was surprised that he was a team member. So, but yeah, it's just story arcs. I had a tough time. Dow, did you have a story arc from 2016 that you liked?
I think I had one, but I forgot what it was.
Come on, Dow.
Probably the first Green Lanterns. You're talking about the rebirths and stuff. The teaming up, the Red Menace or Red Seed Rising, I think is what it was for Green Lanterns, and it's basically Simon and Jessica having to learn to work together and overcome the stuff. So that was really good.
Figure out their powers and and how to work together with each other because they didn't didn't get along with each other.
Yep.
Yeah.
What about you?
The dark art storyline from Daredevil, where they introduced that new character that Vincent Van Gogh, I think is what they called him, or the Muse.
The Muse, yes.
Where he painted that mural with all those Inhumans blood and.
I'm interested in reading that because that looked interesting.
The first story arc in Daredevil wasn't all that great with the 10 hands or 10 fingers or whatever his name was
and all that. Yeah.
But man, they followed it up with a really great story with that dark art story.
Excellent.
Yeah. So do you want to do the worst?
The worst story arc?
Nah, let's stay positive.
Yeah, let's stay positive. Yeah. So.
That's all I got.
That's all you got?
I think. Did we have some other categories that I didn't mention or write down?
No, I don't think so. Carrington, what was your best book for 2016?
My Little Pony.
Who saw that coming?
Yep.
So.
All right. Well, let us know what you thought.
What were your best awards for 2016?
Yes, your best awards for 2016 are the categories we chose. Let us know on our Facebook page, Comic Book Straight Talk, and I guess this Captain Dalian.
We still have your contest.
Are we still doing your contest? Yeah.
Yeah, someone needs to reply back. I've got like 7 or 8 free comics down there, and
didn't one person reply?
Did they?
I thought one person replied.
I don't remember. I don't think so.
Nobody has replied.
I don't think so. Free comics, man.
I'm trying. Yeah, I mean.
I know. It was just Free Comics Day just passed, but come on, people.
They lined up for free comics at Free Comic Day, so I don't know why they wouldn't, mention something. And so what was it they needed to mention?
Just reply back. I want them. I'll take the free comics. That's the password. That's the code word.
All right. See.
Okay.
All right. Well, this is Dalian.
Terry, the French Stickler French, signing out.
Kenny.
Just Carrington.
All have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.